Shaniqua has been around. It's a name that people know, and you have Shaniquas who are like the one Shaniqua says. She said swamp donkeys. I've never heard that expression before in my life, or whatever the stereotype is. And you also have, I have good friends who are Shaniquas, who are lawyers that I went to Hampton with and do great things. So I feel like it's that name that we all have heard, but still has this stigma, even though you have a wide variety of people who do different things.
Yeah.
So.
That was great. Now, as far as the actresses in this movie, how did you pick them? How did you pick the actresses in this movie? You know, the actors, not just the actresses. Sorry.
The cast, I did a few things to get the people who participated to give interviews. I did a thing in DC where I did an open call for people. If your name is Shaniqua, meet me at this venue. We're gonna have a Shaniqua chat. And then I went on Facebook and I found Shaniqua McClendon, the one that works in DC on Capitol Hill. And I literally went on Facebook and typed in Shaniqua and I messaged every Shaniqua I could find. Most people thought I was crazy, but she responded. She probably Googled me and figured out, okay, he's not totally crazy. And she wrote back and she came to the Shaniqua chat. And we had this great conversation. I was so struck by her because she is so smart. And she was also so hurt by the way that she had been treated. And the story that didn't make the film is she talked about how she was dating and a guy introduced her to his parents and said, her name is Shaniqua, but she's not like the rest of them. That he said that in front of her to his parents, and she felt like she couldn't believe that he felt the need to explain her. So when she told me that, that kind of broke my heart, and I asked her if she would let me kind of just talk to her and follow her, spend some time. And she had not seen the full film until about a month ago. We were in New York, we screened it. And she had not heard what some of the people had said. And the two women at the end, Jennifer and whatever, and some of the ones that were talking, we were at a brunch and I pulled her friends aside. She had not really heard their opinions before. She figured, but she hadn't heard it. And these are women who she goes to this networking brunch with for the empowerment of women. And when I pulled them aside, they all said, yeah, when I met her, I was like, but then I was like, well, you know, she seems okay. And it's just like, these are people who she considered friends. So it kind of hurt her to she knows, but it re-injured her. And she's headed to Harvard. And she's like, am I gonna have to go through this again right now in the fall where people are gonna assume these things about who I am?
I'm just curious at this point if there's anybody in the audience who feels like they've been hurt by their name and they want to share their story with us.
And can we do that? I just want to give my team a quick shout because it's
Okay,
rare